So when you install a cardio sound system, you need to use crossovers to limit the frequency for each speakers for your sound system. So while using crossovers for your speakers, what the crossover does for your speaker is that it will allow your speaker to play the specific frequencies your speakers are supposed to play, which will boost the sound quality and protect your speakers from damaging. So as an example, I have this small tweeter right here, and your tweeters are only supposed to play the higher frequencies. But let's say that I'm playing heavy bass in this tweeter now. Just know that this tweeter won't be lasting for long and it will just damage on you. Right here now, this is a subwoofer, and a subwoofer will be able to play the bass. But with a subwoofer compared to a tweeter now, the subwoofer won't be able to play the higher frequencies as the tweeter. So now that we know crossovers are used to limit the frequency range in the speakers, you guys may come across something that's called an external three-way crossover. But is it worth getting a external crossover for your cardio sound system while you have your amplifier that already have crossovers on it? Well, in today's video, we'll be finding out everything you guys need to know. So make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new, and let's drop right into the video. Blah. So when having a sound system, I always recommend to get a crossover so that it can make your tuning a lot more easier and bring out the performance throughout your speakers for your cardio sound system. With using your amplifier crossovers, it's okay to use the crossovers on your amplifier, but the crossovers on your amplifier won't be as effective and strong as using a external crossover. So for example, let's say that for my subwoofer channel right here now, let's say that I set my low pass filter at 60 Hz. With my low pass filter being set at 60 Hz on this external crossover, the frequencies above 60 Hz won't be playing in my subwoofers. But let's say that now I set my low pass filter on my amplifier at 60 Hz now for my subwoofers. What will happen is that at 60 Hz won't be the true 60 Hz being set. The frequencies above 60 Hz still will be playing in my subwoofers. So when it comes to your amplifier crossovers, they are not as strong as using a external crossover. And that's one big benefit of using a external crossover. Another big benefit of using a external crossover is that it will be putting less stress on your amplifier. So let's say that your amplifier be pushing out a lot of power to push your speakers. With adding a external crossover, you guys can give your amplifier less stress when it comes to the power wise. Your crossover will be giving out a little more power, so you guys don't have to really push your amplifier as hard as not using any crossover. So here we'll be doing a sound test on these speakers with using a amplifier crossover versus a external crossover so that we can actually hear the difference. So here we go, turn it up.
Time coming, but we didn't fell apart. Really wanna work this out. As we go our separate ways. When I'm hurting, baby, I ain't happy, baby. It's gonna burn for me to say this. It's coming from my heart. It's been a long time changing. I do, but you don't think it's best we go our separate ways. Stay in this relationship. When I'm hurting, all the things I gotta deal with. I think I should burn.
So right there, I don't know if y'all could have tell the difference. I would recommend for y'all to wear some headphones so that you guys can actually hear the difference. So while using the amplifier crossover, the speakers were sounding great, but you guys could have hear a little distortion while the speakers are being on high volume. And the frequency response while using the amplifier crossovers wasn't the best as well. It wasn't as effective as using the external crossover. But with using the external crossover now, you guys could have hear how nicely the mid bass were playing on these speakers, and the clarity and how effective the crossover points were used on these speakers while using the external crossover. I want to know y'all opinion on when it comes to the amplifier crossovers versus the external crossover on this sound test. So when it comes to setting up and hooking up an external crossover to your amplifier and your head unit now, most people tend to find this difficult and be struggling. But to hook up a external crossover to your amplifier now, coming behind of your head unit now, you guys will need to find the front left and right, which is showing over here. and the front left and right will be right here. And you guys will need a pair of RCA cables, and what you guys will be doing is you guys will be connecting the RCA cables in the front left and right from the back of your head unit, and you will connect the end of the RCA cables to the front input of your crossover. So right here, one of the end of the RCA cable is destroyed, but it's just an example of how it's supposed to be hooked up. Please do not roast me in the comments, guys. So coming from the back of your head unit to the input of your crossover, that is all you guys need to do. And then coming over to the output of the crossover now, this will be the tweeter channel right here. And for your tweeter amplifier, you will connect a RC from the output to the input of your tweeter amplifier. Now the same goes for the mid-range channel. Your mid-range channel coming from the output, you will connect it to the mid-range on your mid-range amplifier. And then the same goes for your subwoofer channel. You will connect the subwoofer channel to your subwoofer amplifier, and my subwoofer amplifier is right here underneath the seat right here. Now to get power to your crossover, you guys will just need to connect a ground in on the crossover. You guys will need a 12 volts power, and you guys will also need to connect the remote. The remote can be connected from your amplifier. So what I did, I just connected the remote on my amplifier. I connected the 12 volts to my 12 volts on the amplifier, which is right here as you guys are seeing. And I also connect the ground from the crossover to the grounding on the amplifier also to get the power to this crossover. And as simple as that, the crossover is working. Now, how to tune your sound system if you have a external crossover installed inside your vehicle. Now for this part, you guys will have to pay attention, because you guys would want the best performance and best sound quality coming out from your speakers. So when having a external crossover installed to your sound system, what I would recommend for y'all to do in terms of your tuning is that I would recommend for y'all to tune everything from off of your external crossover and leave your crossovers and your amplifier alone. So on your amplifier, I would recommend for y'all to set your mode to full range. Then you can just tune everything from off of your external crossover. So let's say, for example, you already did your tuning on your external crossover, but you come on your amplifier now and you do a next set of tuning for your speakers. What will happen there is that you will be multiplying the frequencies going to your speakers, and multiplying the frequencies can affect your speakers sound quality. You guys would want to make sure that your speakers are playing the right frequencies they should be playing. So try to avoid double tuning on your sound system. So with that being said, it's important that you guys set your crossover points correctly for your speakers, because if you set your crossover points incorrectly, you guys can damage and blow your speakers, and you guys can also kill the performance in your speakers. If this video interests y'all, I would recommend for y'all to check out 2 videos on my YouTube channel. One showing the best amplifier settings that you guys can do to maximize your bass performance, and the other video is one of the best amplifier settings to maximize your mids and highs speakers performance. Thank you for all the support lately. Be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new. Any support means a lot to me, and I'll be catching you guys in my next video. Love y'all guys. Peace.